Today we're going to take a look at a play given to me by TGL forum member Walter Ego, who is also part of the Compete Forever League run by Coach K, better known as the C4 League. Coach K and Compete Forever were the ones that put on the Madden tournament a couple weeks ago in New Jersey. That was on live stream on Twitch, not sure if you checked it out, but it's always fun to watch and always a great job done by Coach K. Now, a while ago, I showed you guys the play PA Hawks Dig from the trio offset formation, and what I'm about to show you is a great complement to that play. It's the Seattle playbook, and I want you to keep in mind that this cannot be run in a custom playbook. It must be run out of the stock Seattle playbook. The formation is shotgun trio offset, and the play is called flood. So before we get into how we're going to run it, I want you to pay attention to the play art of the play called flood. X is on a streak on the outside, Y is on what is essentially a smart routed out route, and the B receiver is on a flat route. So the way we're going to run this play is by coming out in any formation that is 11 personnel. We can also come out in gun trio offset. The only thing is we cannot come out in the play flood. As you can see here, I've come out in read option. So to figure out what formations we can come out in and then audible to gun trio offset, we just press the audible button while in this formation and scroll. We can come out in single back doubles, single back snugs, pistol trips, gun split hawk, gun doubles on, and gun Y trips weak. Any play in any of those formations and then audible to gun trio offset and the flood play. Now remember the play art that I showed you before we picked the play. Let's audible to flood and see the difference. Now we've got the streak on the inside and we've got the flat route on the outside, and this is unique in the sense that we are not allowed or not able to audible the outside receiver to a flat route. Let's try it right now. We can do a comeback, an out, a streak, an in, a curl, a smoke screen, a zig, a fade, a slant, a drag. We do not have the option for a flat route whatsoever. And this is going to be very beneficial to us in Madden just because of the way the game works. So to set it up, I'm going to put X on a slant and RB on a wheel route. Just these three routes, X, A, and RB, are going to be very tough to stop as is. Against zone coverage, what's going to happen is B is either going to be left wide open, which is what I'm going to get to first. You're going to see me throwing that route a lot anytime the zone defenders back up. If they play like a flat and protect against B, then Y is going to be wide open. So basically, the B route is going to pull down zones, or it's just going to leave it wide open. So we're going to be able to hit B or Y almost all day long. Once they start to key on that with extra purples by linebackers or cornerbacks, you're going to see in the gameplay footage as I throw to other routes that they're going to blanket the Y route just because I abuse them with it all day long. We're then going to be able to hit X, A, and RB as well. So just a great play. The fact that these receivers switch their positions, we're able to get the flat route on the outside. So we're going to get to some gameplay footage showing all the routes. I hope you guys enjoy. When Walter Ego sent me a setup for this play, he explained that he loves to audible to this when his outside receiver is being pressed, allowing him to hit the out route all day long. The best part of that is, if they play man coverage, yeah, the out is money, but if they try to take it away with zone, well, all that's going to do is just leave the flat route wide open for easy yards. This is something I love to use in short yardage situations, but here, even on 2nd and 11, you can see that we're still able to pick up yards. The other thing is that once my receiver catches the ball, I like to wait until the CPU moves me forward about 2 yards, then I'm going to take control of the wide receiver. You know, you can take control at any point if you want. I just personally find that the speed at which the CPU gets me upfield is a lot quicker than if I try to go upfield manually. Even on some of these touchdowns, I just throw the ball to the wide receiver, don't even touch the controller, and he just walks into the end zone. Now, throughout this video, as you can see, this flat torch defense is so much that I really could abuse it all day long against zone. Then, once my opponent would change it up and have his outside defender playing down low or in man coverage, then I'd just throw the out route. If they started to make sure that the flat and the out were covered, then I just hit some of these other three routes. You know, the more I played the game, the more it became about where the user defender was once I snapped the ball. I just throw away from him because every route can beat man or zone, I guess just with the exception of the flat not beating man defense. I think the slant being where it is in the perfect position. It goes really well with every other route. You know, you really have to respect every receiver in this play as a threat to catch the ball at any time. And anytime I started using other receivers and my opponent is getting closer and closer to finding a solution to stopping me, that is when I throw the slant a few times, and then he's just going to have to go back to the drawing board. especially since slants are going to beat man or zone coverage, and he's going to have to play the middle of the field to stop it for the most part. Just so happens, as you can see in the gameplay footage, I did face a lot of zone coverage in the games that I played using this, but we all know that slants beat man as well. Now the video for PA Hawks Dig, I'm going to put that in the description for you guys to check out, and I do have to tell you, coming out in just read option and using PA Hawks Dig and Flood as my two audibles is an absolute headache for my opponents. And once you start branching out and audible in and out of other formations, it's pretty much going to be a wrap. Actually, speaking of the wrap, you can come out in gun, wide trips, weak QB wrap, quickly audible to Flood or Hawks Dig and trio offset after each play in a hurry-up offense. And once you really need a big play, whether your receiver just doesn't pick up as many yards or whatever, just stay in wide trips. Maybe you're in a fourth down or something like that. Run the QB wrap. And we all know what's going to happen when we run the QB wrap, especially if we use it sparingly. I also really like pistol trips in the sense that when we audible, the only change that is made is the halfback moving from behind the quarterback to standing behind him. That's a very quick transition that's going to keep our opponent on his toes as we're audibling in and out of formations. The crossing of the A and X receivers is going to force our opponent to use the middle of the field. And if he doesn't, then the chances are that one of these two routes are going to be open for an easy catch. If they do happen to use the middle of the field, the question then becomes, who do you cover? The tight end is the perfect complement to the simple but effective slant. I'm going to use the slant a few times, making them think that's where I'm going to go, and once they manually key in on X, like you can see here in the gameplay footage, then I just hit the tight end, forcing them into a decision each and every play. If they use the middle, we're just going to beat them outside. If they use the outside, we'll just beat them over the middle. Now the wheel route doesn't need much of an explanation. If they're blitzing and he's wide open, then we throw the ball to the running back. If we see the flats wide open in zone, then we still just throw the ball to the running back. It's really nothing fancy, but it is a very, very important part of the play. Also, I pretty much never block the running back on this play. There's just too many routes that we can throw too quickly that it wouldn't make too much sense to block a halfback here. The other thing is, if you're very good with quick reads and you really don't make many mistakes, this is absolutely the play for you. You know, based on my experience using this, covering every route is not impossible, but it is very, very tough to do. I guess I should also say that taking someone else's play and using it as my own is something that I have an extremely hard time doing. I may have completely missed the mark on what Walter Ego was trying to convey to me. Now, I hope not, but if so, him just showing me how to get the inside and outside receivers to swap routes allowed me to take advantage of a great play, even if the thought process was wrong. Having to respect the out route in Madden 25 is something that I was really hoping that we wouldn't have to do. You know, last year it was already hard enough to stop, and who would have thought, after all the feedback to EA about what is overly effective, that this year it would be 10 times harder to stop. So with that said, I think everyone knows how to throw an out route by now, so I'm just going to use this time as you watch the gameplay footage to let you guys know that once the next gen Madden comes out, that's what I'm going to be playing. So that's what I'm going to be showing here on YouTube, and I do know that not all of you will move to the new system right away, and not everyone has $500 to throw around on a new video game system. I mean, some of you have kids, you have wives, and it's just not possible. So I hope you stick with me during that time. I'm going to try to have a few videos sitting around that I can just upload periodically to hold you guys over until you do go next gen. We're also going to have some special guest appearances for tips from people who also have not made the change to next gen. And that's going to give you guys videos to watch and get better at the game that you're playing. And it's also going to give them a chance to showcase their talents and maybe gain some subscribers for their channel. So with all that said, I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.